guess what? Micro Four Thirds is not dead. Lumix have just announced this new flagship G9 Mark II camera, Micro Four Thirds sensor, brand new everything, new design, new body, new everything. In this video, this is not a full review, this is a first look, first impression. I'm gonna tell you what this camera is good for, who it is good for, what are the main features of it, and why it should be on your radar right now. So keep watching, don't skip to find out more about this G9 Mark II. This is definitely long-awaited Micro Four Thirds camera with this new look and new features. It features brand new processing engine and brand new processor, 25.2 million pixels processor with a brand new, newish. We already know about it from the S5 II and S5 IIX phase detect, hybrid phase detect autofocusing system, which really works. This is not identical to S5 II and S5 IIX. This is actually improved, a newer, evolved version. This time it not only tracks human form and human eye, but also animal eye and form, but not only cats and dogs and birds like some other cameras, but all animals. It uses some kind of AI system which detects the animal body and then finds the eye and sticks to it, and it works very well. But now also for those who want to shoot sports video photography, sports like motorsports, it features a car and motorcycle tracking as well, which wasn't present in the previous versions of Lumix cameras. I was never a big fan of Micro Four Thirds cameras before, and G9 before didn't appeal to me because in my opinion, which is important to me, it wasn't a good looking camera. It was like a hunchback, weird looking thing. This is pretty. This is pretty much the same as S5. It has got a S5 full frame camera's body with the smaller Micro Four Thirds sensor. It's only marginally smaller, shorter than S5 II and S5 IIX, about the same weight as well. Just like all Lumix current cameras, it features superb image stabilization. This sensor is stabilized in a way that all the brands can do it. When filming, it doesn't give you gimbal-like shots, but very smooth indeed. It's good enough for handheld shooting video, no doubt, but also for shooting with longer zoom lenses. This for photography and video, this stabilization is absolutely incredible to allow you to shoot with the bigger magnifications, bigger zooms, and not worry about that handshake or blurred images. 100 megapixel high resolution mode. This combines 4 images into one and can be used handheld. It gives you the chance to shoot very high resolution images if needed. If you want to print big or you want to crop a lot, you can do it without the tripod with this camera because of this incredible stabilization built into this camera. For the wildlife and sports shooters, the burst mode, as with G9, is pretty good. 60 frames per second with electronic shutter, or 14 frames per second with the mechanical, which is very impressive. It ensures that you capture the fast-moving objects or action accurately and you don't miss anything. It also has got a pre-burst mode built in. You can set the time like half a second, 1 second pre, so every time you point the camera at something, you will be recording the continuous frames all the time into a buffer, and when you press the button it will start recording from 1 second before, so you really can't miss any fast moving, fast happening action. One big thing, very big thing at the moment with Fuji cameras, which a lot of people rave about, is having that inbuilt film emulation, so you can shoot JPEG and don't have to edit them after you get that film look straight from the camera. Lumix have been doing it for a long time, and this camera is no exception with real-time LUTs. This allows you to input or save your favorite preset LUT into the camera and shoot not only video with it. It sounds like it's a video-only function with name LUT, but also you can actually embed that look into your images, so you can shoot with your favorite preset look straight in the camera and have pictures ready to go on social media or to your client quickly without the need for editing them. This is a feature-packed camera, but in my opinion, at least, this is a photo-centric camera with video capabilities. Saying that the video formats, what you can do with video-wise with this camera is very impressive. Maybe not quite GH6, but very close. You do get a 422 10-bit recording. You do get a 6K open gate full sensor readout up to 30 frames per second. You do get all the usual standards: 4K 120 frames per second, 4K 60 frames per second, 240 frames per second in HD. You do get Apple ProRes recording internally in HD, but also in all other formats onto SSD hard drive externally via USB-C. It sounds amazing, but there's a huge but. This camera has got no cooling system, no fans built in. Panasonic Lumix, they claim that it will probably work, but if used in very warm condition, in a warm studio or in a warmer climate, this camera will just basically shut down. There's no recording limits, but most likely recording in a higher video format, the heat will shut the camera down before you even think about the recording limits. Potentially there's a simple solution to this problem. I have just received this today. I haven't actually used it yet, so I can't confirm or deny that this doesn't work, but Ulanzi, they make these little fans. They cost about $20, which stick literally in the back of the camera underneath the LCD screen, so you can cool the camera body quickly if needed. I will be testing this combo hopefully soon, so I will report back to you if this actually works with this camera when this camera gets too hot. As I mentioned before, S5 body. Yeah, nice and well designed. Full size HDMI socket, of course. What else would you have these days? Also, talking about the body and design, it features the same as S5 II and S5 IIX loops for the strap, so you don't have these dangly, jangly triangle things, which is a good thing. Definitely better design than most cameras. Same battery as GH6 and S5 series of cameras. Very handy if you already have some of these. You can also power it via USB socket, so you can actually charge and use it and charge it at the same time. So if you're running out of battery, you can top it up from the power bank in your pocket and continue using this camera for longer periods of time. If using it in a studio, for example, or you want continuous battery supply, power supply, you can do it via USB. See, don't know about a video because probably will overheat after a while, but worth trying. Who is this camera for? This camera is for certainly a hardcore loyal MFD Micro Four Thirds user. Someone who is invested in a system, have been using the system for a while and has got a collection of lenses. This is a dream come true. The autofocusing system, better higher resolution sensor, great burst modes, animal tracking, everything you could think the camera should have, this pretty much has got it. This camera is perfect for someone who is interested in wildlife photography or sports photography. Because of the sensor, Micro Four Thirds sensor, the lenses are smaller with a bigger reach. So for example, something like 100 to 400 millimeter lens gives you 200 to 800 millimeter focal range, full frame equivalent. Amazing zoom, which isn't big. Anything full frame in that kind of focal range would be massive. This is actually manageable standard zoom size lenses. So for someone who wants to shoot sports or wildlife and doesn't want a big lenses, big camera, this system is perfect for that. This camera is also perfect for anyone starting up who don't want to spend huge amounts of money on a full frame camera and wants to have a chance to choose more smaller and potentially cheaper lenses than any other camera system. This can do it. But saying that, this is also very capable of being used professionally to shoot with. Price wise, this is priced at £1,699 here in UK at the time of launch. I've got no price for US. I've got no idea what this is going to cost in US, but I'm guessing that about $1,700–1,800. Don't quote me on that, but certainly cheaper than a full frame cameras for the same, if not a bigger set of features this camera offers. Conclusion, I have only had a chance to test this in a very short period of time, but I'm comparing this to my S5 II and S5 IIX, which I am recording with right now. This camera compares extremely well to the full frame bigger brothers. It is improved version of these cameras with a smaller sensor. Micro Four Thirds is not dead, certainly not dead, and this camera proves it. Great camera for wildlife and sports photography, or anyone who is invested already in MFT system. Great camera for wildlife, animals, sports photography, and anyone from the beginner to professional. It does pack a punch. In my opinion, certainly a photo-centric camera with video capabilities. In my opinion, this is probably great for someone who does shoot photography primarily and only occasionally wants to record some video, or for someone who uses it as a B cam, or who doesn't record long events in a hot climate. If you record a video just a bit, B-roll, some interviews, maybe short interviews, and in controlled environment, this will do very, very well. If you do photography and you want to capture just a tiny bit of video while you shoot photos, this will have no issues. If you want to use it as a main video workhorse, this could potentially overheat. Very good price for what you are getting here. This is a camera with so many features which are great for anyone from amateur to professional for under £2,000 or $2,000. Yeah, great price, great value for money. Very well working autofocus and a great selection of lenses available for this system. Also makes it a great object of desire, and this camera will be definitely very, very popular with photographers and even filmmakers too. And this is it from me this time. I will have this camera in my hands for longer, more detailed review, in which I'll shoot more samples, video and photography with, to show you how it works and talk more about the menus and features. But for now, this is it in this video. I hope this video was in some way helpful or informative. If it was, please give me the thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye. In this video, I'm gonna tell you some things about it. This is not a full... In this video, I'm always say don't record outside, because there's always some making noise. This time it's a train, big train, and long train. That one. 100 million pixel mega resolution, whatever it's called. But saying that, this is also very capable of doing. Saying that this is also